Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Friday, so it's PowerPoint Day. For those of you who listened to my teachings, my rants over all these years, you know that four is one of the models that I work with in terms of spirituality by the numbers. This is called Quadrated Order. The first aspect is in yoga teachings that what they call the four stages of life, the four ashramas. First, there's the brahmacharya stage where you're a student. Then there's the grahastha stage where you're a householder. Then there's the vanaprastha stage where you're a forest dweller. And then there's the renunciate stage, sannyas. So this is similar to what we do. We would call it school, work, and then retirement in two phases that they give you. One is where you leave everything behind, you begin your spiritual practices, and then finally you just give up everything, and all you got is a begging bowl and a loincloth. All right, then, according to their system, you're born into one of the castes, the varnas, which means color, literally. So you're either the brahmana, the priest, overseeing all the religious traditions and holding sway in terms of power, the kshatriyas, the administrators, the warriors, the white collar workers, the people who organize and oversee the details for how the society runs. Then there's the vaishyas, the people who are doing the mom and pop industries, the mercantile class. And then there's the sudras, the people who have the uneducated, unskilled jobs. And we're not even talking about the homeless here, which is their version of the untouchables. And they say there are four yogas: Raja Yoga, where you meditate and directly experience the truth within your own self, always in your heart. The self is in the heart, not in the head. And then there's Jnana Yoga, the study of sacred texts and the commentaries by the holy people on what the books really say. There's Karma Yoga, selfless service, a devotional offering that you give to deity. And here's the picture of Arjuna recognizing Krishna as the one he's working with on the field. But he doesn't realize that Krishna is not just his charioteer, he's the supreme being behind it all. And then there's Bhakti Yoga, where your heart overflows with devotion. And as Hanuman here hugging Ram says, when I don't know who I am, I serve you. When I know who I am, I'm one with you. And you can see it in the gopis with Krishna, each one having Krishna appear to them in the form that they most desire. But ultimately, it's the Sacred Heart of Jesus. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. There it is. Four states of mind to cultivate, called the four abodes of Brahma, Chitta Prasadam. Spread your consciousness through Maitri, friendship, through Mudita, sympathetic joy, through Karuna, compassion for all creatures, and then ultimately Upeksha, indifference to evil. Let karma deal with the people who make choices and don't realize what the unintended consequences will be for them. Then the four aims of life, the Purusharthas, is accumulate. Get enough stuff so you're not a parasite. Hopefully it won't only be Halloween candy to rot your teeth. And then Kama, pleasure, enjoy the sensuous aspect of the body. We're all entitled to enjoy ourselves, and we're all accountable for the joys we were permitted to experience and didn't allow ourselves to take advantage of. But everything is on the bridle of the Dharma. You learn during that first brahmacharya or student stage how to align yourself with the cosmic good, the overarching sattvic principles that we believe underlie the whole cosmos. And then if you're doing your artha, your accumulation, and your kama, but on the bridle of dharma or love, then of course you end up going for moksha or liberation. Shiva is the ultimate meditating yogi. It's just like Buddha, but Buddha doesn't have the creator connected to it. His biography as Shiva is one of the gods, right? He's both Shiva, the cosmic phallus, Shiva, the lord of the dance, Naharaj. He's also Shiva, the destructor. So he destroys all the falsity that keeps you from understanding your deep self, but he doesn't like to be disturbed. He also wants to meditate off in the Himalayas, far from humanity. And once you understand this, you see it in the four elements, you see it in the four seasons, you see it in the four fixed astrological signs, you see it in the four suits of the tarot, you see it in the four worlds of the Kabbalah, you see it in the four horsemen of the apocalypse, you see it in the four feng shui animals. And then ultimately you realize, as the Native Americans always has, the spirit causes everything to be round in nature. The sun, the sky, the earth, the moon are like around, like a shield. The sky is like a deep bowl. Everything breathes is round. And it emanates like the stem of a plant bursting through. So you travel in the four directions, and each direction has a color, a medicine animal, a psychological state that needs to be integrated. And you work through these, and then you're on what they call the good red road because you've learned to balance yourself with the harmony of the greater whole. And then, as I give the archetypal images, same thing: the royal couple, the king and queen, the witch and the wizard, the magus and the medial woman, the Rambo and the Joan of Arc, or whoever your female warrior is. And then, of course, the lovers, whether they're Romeo and Juliet or any pair of people who recognize that eyes are the scouts of the heart, and you test the person to find out if they're a lover or a luster. And if they're a luster, you throw them away. If they're a lover, you hold on to them. And ultimately ends up with what's called the via positiva, juice those things which are groovy. The via negativa, you gotta accept the fact that there's the other half of life where shade is and suffering is and pain is. But there's also the via creativa where you bring the images of the via positiva and the via negativa to the fore, and you create with it, you paint it, you dance it, you sculpt it, you mime it, you sing it. And then ultimately, there is no justice if there is no peace if there's no justice. So you have to take all those other paths and use it in the service of moving it along for everybody. And if you do, then you'll discover what I've discovered, the Fab Four. All you need is love. Sing your song, and don't be afraid to show who you are.